12 days ago, we started some tests using Red Garnet Amaranth on 4 different hydroponic mediums to see how the growth would perform on all these different mediums. Red Garnet Amaranth is one of the most challenging crops that we grow, and a lot of the time we have a lot of success with it, and this time we actually had a little bit of failure, so I'm kind of excited to talk about how we failed. Alright, so as you guys may have seen in our quick update video that we did last week, we started some tests using Red Garnet Amaranth on 4 different hydroponic mediums to see how it would grow. At that time, Terrafibre was just crushing it with its growth. It was way ahead of all the other mediums and we were super stoked about it. About a day after that video, we started to experience something called dampen off. If you're not familiar with dampen off, it's basically a fungus that starts around the root of these plants, affects the stem, and ends up killing this crop. So we let the dampen off kind of continue, and we did our best to control it with the hopes that we can show you guys still how far ahead the growth was for this medium, in the hopes that on the next test we won't experience dampen off on this material, because this medium does seem to perform really well on our other crops. So let's go ahead and look at these results. So starting over here with veg bed. This is the one that we were kind of pointing out in the beginning that we've always kind of struggled to have good results with. You can see that a lot of these amaranths were unable to get through shedding off the seed holes or husks. It just has very poor germination on this medium. We feel that they don't have the ability to really drive through this medium because it is so tightly woven. It's very similar to like a very tight cotton t-shirt or something like that. So for our second tray, it is Jute, and the results are pretty nice on this. Honestly, we got pretty consistent growth. We do have a little bit of a dip that I noticed here down the middle and along the side where we didn't have as great of germination. But other than that, the growth is pretty good. This crop is still quite short and I'd like to grow it out longer, but we'll talk about that later. For our third tray, BioStraight, this is something that we've grown with a bunch, and honestly it looks very uniform and consistent. Same thing though that we had on Jute, where along the edge we do have a little bit of the slower germination that was unable to shed off those seed holes. And lastly, the kind of train wreck, but it is what it is, and we want to talk about it. So this was the Terrafibre, the one that was the furthest ahead, and as you can see over here, you can see how much taller this is compared to our BioStraight. So I wanted to leave this crop growing so that we can continue to show how much further ahead it was compared to everything else, even though it just got completely wrecked. And you guys could probably see that in the time lapse of how the dampen off started off as a circle that was probably about this small. We saw it happening, we tried to treat it, and then it just continued to spread and spread. It started here, and then eventually it had a spot here, and now it's just spread around the back of this. Honestly, this is something you just want to get out of your space as soon as possible, but we wanted to share how we fail sometimes as well. Okay, so what is dampen off specifically? So dampen off is caused by several different pathogens that basically weaken the seeds either during the germination process or after germination, and it's usually prevalent in like high humidity or very moist conditions. In our space, we were actually pretty shocked to see it happen so quickly to this amaranth. So we're thinking what might have caused this was the fact that we had a few temperature spikes in our grow space during this actual grow. So it's supposed to be winter here right now, and instead we've had a few like random 80, 90 degree days when before it was like 30 degrees and all of a sudden we're up to like the 90s, and because of that our climate has been just kind of all over the place in here. So I think that's what kind of set this Terrafibre into the dampen off state, and it could have been along our sanitation practices as well. So we clean our trays outdoors and we leave them to dry outdoors, because if we bring them in here it just spikes our humidity super high, and because we dry them outdoors we have a higher chance of bringing pathogens back into this grow space because of that. So it could have been that there was just some kind of pathogen on the actual tray itself that went into the Terrafibre. There could have been a pathogen within the Terrafibre itself. I doubt that, because we haven't seen any kind of disease or dampen off on any of our other Terrafibre grows. But these are just things to be aware of with amaranth and the dampen off particularly. So again, I'm not going to be harvesting these. I just wanted to kind of talk about how you can experience some kind of issues with amaranth. We don't always have perfect grows. This is an example of something that is pretty common to happen with Red Garnet Amaranth if you're not very careful in your sanitation practices and you don't have a very steady, controlled environment. So all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I just wanted to share this, talk about it, bring some awareness to dampen off, and let you know that we do fail too, even though we've grown hundreds and hundreds of trays of all kinds of different crops. And we actually usually have incredible success with Red Garnet Amaranth, but we still have failures every now and then. So that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you dislike this video, give us a thumbs down. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the section below and we'd love to get those answered for you. If you would like to subscribe to us, we do a lot of experiments. We're starting some more home grower series and we're going to be doing some more build videos in the future. If you're interested in that, please subscribe for more. And if you would like to, our Instagram is @OnTheGrowFarms, and we also have a Facebook now too that is @OnTheGrowFarms. So thank you so much and have a great day.
Day 1, Amaranth. Amaranth, Day 2. Amaranth, Day 3. Amaranth, Day 4. Amaranth, Day 5. Amaranth, Day 6.
Thanks.
Amaranth, Day 7.
And your soul is able to shine like the sun, and it's there because the rest is boot.
Amaranth, Day 8. Amaranth, Day 9. Amaranth, Day 10. Amaranth, Day 11.